Welcome back to Miss Mechanic. Today I'm showing you how to take a tire off. So the first thing we got to do is loosen these wheel nuts. The wheel nuts definitely have to come off before the tire comes off the ground. The reason you need to do that is because you need the friction of the tire on the ground to keep the tire from spinning. So now that we have these lug nuts all loose, we're ready to put the car up with the jack. So if you're ever stuck at the side of the road and you're trying to get your spare tire on, you're going to refer to your owner's manual for jacking locations. Your jack's going to look a little bit different than mine. I've got a hydraulic jack. Just know that yours might look slightly different, and that's okay. So I picked a lift point. I'm going to go ahead and lift that car up. So the car's all lifted, the tire's off, and the way I can tell and make sure is I can turn this tire a little bit. The reason it's so tough to turn is because the vehicle is actually in gear, or in park if you drive an automatic. I drive a standard, so my car is in gear. I'm just using my foot here to keep that wheel from coming off. So now I'm going to go ahead and take these wheel nuts all the way off. If they get tight on you, you can always do what I just did when you've got that bar up and give it a quick hit. Don't lose those lug nuts. Tire's all loosened up. I'm going to go ahead and pull it up. Be careful when you do this. You don't want to hurt yourself, especially your back. Just give it a little tug and you can roll it right on the ground. Best way to move these is to roll them. So we're ready to go ahead and put that wheel back on. Sometimes this part can be a little bit difficult. It's especially difficult for me because I don't have a lot of arm strength. So when I'm putting a tire back on, especially a full-size tire like this one, I like to scooch right in there and help use my legs to help lift it in. I'm going to line up the wheel studs and then with my arms and then use my legs to help lift it into place, just like that. And then you're going to want to take your lug nuts and put them on with your fingers. So now I've got them all on with my hands. I'm going to use the wrench or the tool that I have to put them the rest of the way on my hands. If I put my foot down at the bottom of the tire, it holds that tire flush while I twist these on. Now, this is the most important part when you're putting on a tire. They need to be put on in a star pattern. So what I mean by the star pattern is you start at one lug nut, you move to this lug nut, then here, here, and here. So for this case, it's a 5-star pattern. Doesn't matter which way I do this in terms of if I wanted to go right, just as long as you're always going immediately across in a pattern like a star. The reason you need to tighten these in that star pattern is to make sure that that wheel goes on the hub evenly. If you don't, you can risk tightening one side up while the other side isn't quite as tight, and that wheel and the nuts will eventually come loose and your wheel could potentially fall off. Very dangerous situation, so you want to make sure that you get this part right. If the car is back down, you're going to want to tighten again with the wheel on the ground, okay? Just to give it a little bit of extra without the wheel turning. Again, star pattern. Don't ever forget that star pattern. If you're stuck at the side of the road, you're not going to be able to tighten these to spec. That's a specific torque specification, so just make sure that they're tight without being over tight, so that you can get to a garage or a mechanic to verify how tight they are. Those spare tires are really meant to get you out of a jam, so as soon as you're up on the road again, you should get off to your nearest service station so that you can have the proper, or at the very least, make sure that the lug nuts are as tight as they need to be. So thanks for joining me again today on Miss Mechanic. Thanks for learning how to take on and put your tire back off. Hope if you are ever stuck at the side of the road and need to put on your spare, that these videos make you a little bit more comfortable on how to do it.